AllBall TV. You already know the motto. They scared, but I'm not. It's AllBall TV. You already know the motto. They scared, but I'm not. It's AllBall TV. You already know the motto. They scared, but I'm not. I can do it 3 times if I have to. I got that Future song stuck in my head. Like that. Like that. Oh, you like that? Huh? They're not like that. Come on, man. Fabian perspective is so accepting. Is this it? Don't do that. Oh yeah, hold on a second. Hey, baby cakes. Oh, that wasn't it. I'm trying to find my go-to. Oh, look who it is. Look who popped up on the screen with the gangster lean.
Real Knicks fans in the building.
I'm hoping there are real Knicks fans in the building.
Real Knicks fans in the building. Been feeling slight disrespect coming from my fellow Knicks fan. Fabian perspective expected, so accepted.
Are we live?
We in the building, man. What's good?
Hold on. Camera's right?
Make sure. Oh, Flea got a good cut. You know I want to be on screen.
That's why I'm trying to use the right words, man. That's why you coming at me spicy, man. Pause. No Diddy.
No Diddy. Don't. They like what's that word they like now? Zesty. I don't want to hear none of that.
No, I've been calling dudes that for decades. Ask anybody. I had a supervisor. I'll call him out right now.
Bro, Zesty is crazy.
Crazy. You can't call me. There might have to be a physical altercation with no Diddy involved after that. You can call me Zesty.
Furniture moving, like things Nah, not Zesty.
I must regain my respect in this room right now after you call me Zesty. Knicks Rehab, AllBall TV, baby.
We're in the building.
Thank you, baby cakes. You're welcome. She got me the cover. Look, you crazy? I'm bougie,
baby.
Look,
I love it.
They got a poodle in the front. You kidding me? Shout out to Joe Rose. This guy's a genius, man.
Big shout out to Joe Rose.
I can't listen, man. They're not ready. They think I'm joking. I got nothing but lunatics in my life to take over the world. They don't want to let us in. They let me in.
Yeah.
Look, I hooked up with this lunatic. He's from Queens and somebody's in Houston, Texas. This crazy guy.
I'm on the list, bro.
You know what's on that list?
What's on the list?
Big Jalen Brunson. Yeah. I'm tired of it.
Mm-hmm.
Big 61. You see the thumbnail.
Yeah.
You see what's going on here. I'm sick of it. I wish I dared Dom to jump in here today. He doesn't want any smoke.
Hey, big shout out to Dom Dropper.
You guys don't want any smoke. Any smoke. It's over. I don't know what people are talking about. 61 points. The complete list of players to make 25 plus field goals and commit 2 or fewer turnovers. 25 field goals made with 2 or fewer turnovers in a game. How many players make that list, please?
Whoo. I'll say 5 guys.
2 guys.
2 guys.
One of them is Brunson. Who's the other guy?
25 made field goals. 25 attempted or 25 made?
25 made. You know he made 25 yesterday. He shot like 42 shots
He
yesterday.
shot 47 shots last night. 25 field goals made. Only 2 turnovers. My first thought is Braun. It's my first thought. Is Braun. I
would have said Durant.
My second thought is like a big, like Duncan.
Nope. Wow, this thing is falling now. All right, we got a show to do. It's Miguel Jordan.
Oh, it's Mike. Well, I didn't want to jump out there with the obvious, but that's some great company for Jalen Brunson.
61 points. I think I seen something else with someone who made 60 points on 6 or fewer free throws. The only other guy to do that was Rick Barry. So, like, how much more does he have to do? Let's start here. 61 points. We saw what happened. Hartenstein fouled out.
Mm-hmm.
They played Mitchell Robinson a lot more than we wanted him to, right?
I mean, I think it's time to not time, but at some point we're gonna have to start ramping up the minutes on him. He played 28 minutes last night, 20 minutes last night.
28?
Mitchell Robinson. How many minutes did he play last night? They played about 20 minutes last night.
I thought it was 20, man.
About 20 minutes. But the fact of the matter is he's gonna have to start ramping it up and playing more minutes. Now, I don't know if we ever get him back into the starting lineup. I like playing Hartenstein. You are the first one to say Mitch should come off the bench when he comes back. You did say that.
I did, but hold on a second. Before we jump to Mitchell Robinson, it was 19 minutes, by the way. We'll get to Mitchell Robinson in a second. 19 minutes, by the way. 12 rebounds for Mitchell Robinson. 12 points for Josh Hart. DiVincenzo had 20. McBride, 45 minutes again. 49 minutes for DiVincenzo, 41 for Josh Hart, 28 for Hartenstein, 43 for Brunson, 15 for Achua, 15 for Bogdanovich, 6 for Shake Milton. Wemby went crazy.
I mean, he's an amazing talent, an amazing play. He has everything. He has everything. He's just a kid. That's it. When he becomes a man and like really understands the NBA game, the NBA physicality, and all that kind of stuff, if he continues to just stay healthy, because again, we have a history of guys his size not being able to stay healthy. But, you know, like I told y'all a couple months back, his workouts, the type of things that he does to avoid injury, to be proactive, you know, not being able to fall into the injuries that most big guys get, back injuries, feet injuries, knee injuries, like all of that stuff. I'm going to send you probably could look it up. Sports Center posted it today on some of the pregame stuff that he does, you know, before he gets on the floor. And all of this stuff is unorthodox stuff, but it is stuff that puts him in a position to, you know, avoid typical injuries that guys 7 feet and above have. And so last night, he just, you know, put on display what we've expecting from him. Just an alien, an immensely talented player, could shoot it, could put it on the floor, you know, has minimal post game. He doesn't have that yet. I think once he gets that, that takes his game up to another level. Already has great instincts on the defensive end, right? Like it just, his IQ for the game, how he reads the game, his spacing, all of these things, right? Like take time for young players to develop. He's on another level at 19 years old. So
first 40-20 games since Shaq. I mean, he's looked impressive from the moment he stepped on the NBA court. Preseason, we were like, yeah, because we could tell, like with Porzingis, it was like that for me. I could tell he was kind of soft, but that's that kind of game, the instincts, like you said, and then just to be able to, the skill set to be able to do what he did when he was in the summer games. It was like, okay, it was furthering what I saw in the highlights from when he was in wherever the hell he was at. And then with Wemby, same thing. He's in Europe, and it's like we're watching the highlights, and we go, this looks kind of crazy. And
Yeah,
then
like I was trying my best to stay off the bandwagon or whatever, like off the hype train. But at the end of the day, when you watching this kid play, everything jumps out at you about this kid, Fabian. Like everything. And the biggest thing for me is you had touched on what I said a few minutes ago, the instincts. He has basketball instincts, right? Like sometimes you can't teach that to those guys that are 7 feet. I was just talking about, I was just talking to my man, and I think this is relevant to what we're saying about, bigs right now in just the game. He was asking about what is harder about coaching the women's game than it is the men's game. And I had a friend of mine that coached women's basketball for about 7 years, and the biggest thing for him was he was saying that the gap between the girls that are really good and the girls that are not good is really wide. Girls are either like they have the potential to be good ball players, or they just like the game and they're just out there playing, right? That space between them is large, and so you have to do a lot of teaching at anything, but you have to do a lot of teaching. My point is that with the men, a lot of times you can make up for guys that have no basketball IQ, don't know, with just strictly athletic ability. Unfortunately, the women don't have the athletic ability that the men have in terms of high flying, jumping out the gym, all of that. They haven't got there yet. So with men, you can get away with having a 7-footer who ain't shit, but could run, jump, dunk, block shots. You see what I'm saying? And so with Wemby, he has instincts that you can't teach. So now all the rest of this shit is just like, yo, this is insane.
I think the instincts is one thing, right? And then it's the instincts within that personality, because he's instinctually competitive. Like
Yeah.
the fact that he took that ball and threw it in the stands, I wanted to punch him in the face.
I was so mad.
I didn't think about it being disrespectful to Brunson. I just thought of him being a wrestling heel. Like, oh, I love this. Yeah. I'm not supposed to like this. Yeah. I wish we could. I wish violence upon you.
Yeah,
but the way he talks to Goldberg, get ready. That defensive player of the year is not gonna be yours after this year.
Oh no. He might lock that up for a couple seasons, Fabian. Keep it real.
But we're not even used to a superstar talking like this, right? Everybody, to be honest, could be flat out honest. Even Brunson, we're gonna get back to him in a second. He's competitive. The other guys, and when we say like Draymond is the OD version of what this is, but just talking everything, like this is the true competitive guy I love to hate. I would love to hate Wemby because he's on the other team, but that's the guy. We love to hate Michael Jordan because of that. And we're talking about, I wish AllBall was here for this. We're talking about Wemby, who has a chance to have his own era. That kind of talent is, he might have his own era. Forget about best player, MVP, because even the Joker, for all we're saying, I don't know if this is the Joker era. This ain't the Giannis era.
No, because with all the parity, like I always go back to it. Nobody going back to back in some years now. Like everybody getting the opportunity and a crack at getting that Larry O'Brien. Like it's like, okay, who's really owning the last 5 years of the NBA? Do we start looking at MVPs again? Do we consider that, who's won the MVP? But no, we've been considering who's been winning. And at one point, you had guys, tallying it up, winning back-to-backs and shit. We got used to that dynasty type of thing, right? We got used to that. Now, everybody has a crack at it because there's so much talent in the league, but you got so many top dogs, like you said. Is it Giannis's? Is it Joker's? Shea is emerging now. What does this look like? Anthony Edwards is still here. Obviously, LeBron, KD, Steph, they're still in the mix. Like, who's We don't know at this point. So that's a great point. Like, whose era is this today?
And then Wemby has, because Joker wasn't Joker from the outset. Giannis wasn't Giannis from the outset.
Right.
Wemby is Wemby from the outset. We
Different
know
stuff.
where. Oh my God, this is scary from the moment he put an NBA jersey on,
Facts.
and it's potentially there. And we
Yeah.
haven't said that. Well, it's been LeBron. I say since LeBron. That's why the LeBron comparison is there, because LeBron is the guy who came into the league with the hype like this, and then Wemby matched it, and it's like, okay, yeah, it's official now. He matched the hype that he came in with, or I say not preceded it, succeeded it, exceeded it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, AP says this is the Jalen Brunson era
for the Knicks.
It's a good thing. It's a good thing because everyone has a shot, like Flea says. And Jalen Brunson is having a bigger impact on the Knicks than Carmelo Anthony. This is the most even I've ever seen in the NBA. Whoa. NBA history or NBA at the moment. Let's get into it. Because yesterday, 61 points with Jalen Brunson.
Mm-hmm.
I believe, and this is when you come in and could check me, Tibbs messed that up. And I'm going to relate it to Mark Jackson was coaching Steph Curry, Golden State Warriors, and it's obvious to me sitting on the couch, Steph Curry is destroying the Spurs in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Popovich can do nothing. All he's doing, he throws a zone out there, boxing one. I learned what a boxing one was. You throwing a zone at Steph Curry? This is bad news. He's 24 years old. He's running around like a chick with his head cut off and going crazy.
That was 2013. That was 2013. I remember that.
Yo, Mark, sit him down. Give him 1 minute on the bench. Let him catch his breath and get him back in the game, and he will finish the Spurs. That's how I felt. Yesterday, yo, Tibbs, sit him down for 1 minute. I don't care if they're going on a 7-0 run. Let him come. Let him and McBride. They need to sit down. Then you bring them both back in and take over. I didn't care what. Roll the dice after that. But I needed them in the ball game back after getting a blow, as they say. No, did he?
No,
but just sit down for 2 seconds, a minute, and come back in the game. We've seen it before. Settle in there. Yo, Brunson, we need this. What we talking about? All right, get back out there. And let Jalen tell you, no, get me back out there. Ooh, I want you mad. Do you think that's I'm crazy? I'm a crazy fan? Or yeah, makes sense.
I think a guy like that, you need to be able to continue to have fresh legs. But he's got it rolling all night. He's rolling, right? And you've been riding this horse for the entire season. Let's be honest. So now I think ourselves, Knicks fans, and even maybe the team itself has got into this space where it's like, you know, we've won games, we've gone on winning streaks, we've stayed relevant, we're staying in the top 4. We got a really good chance at having home court in the first round without all of our dogs. So we could do this. Like, we could do this. But I think that moments like last night was just a quick reminder that, hey, we need to be fully healthy to make a real run. And so let's not get into this, like, don't get confused and don't let the disguise come over us and think that we are better than what we are fully healthy. When we get all our guys, we play at a different level. We have all our guys. We don't lose that game last night. Jalen Brunson has a 60-point game in a win. I think we're getting confused sometimes that, look, we can win games. We've been able to maintain. I think we've overachieved at this point because of, like I said early on, losing injuries took away our identity. And so now we're trying to get back into the rhythm. And miraculously, we've won a ton of games, right? Everybody has stepped up. But to make a run in the playoffs, to win games where Wemby is going 40 and 20, we need all our dogs. Like, a 60-point game from Jalen Brunson is not going to cut it. It was an amazing performance, but it's not going to cut it when, you know, we're going to need Randall. We're going to need OG. Those are guys that are important in what we're trying to do right now. So, Knicks fans, like, great performance last night, but that's just a reminder that Jalen Brunson, we cannot just specifically rely on Brunson to continue to produce wins for us.
Well, okay, I think that's kind of like, that's logical, but there could be a scenario where these guys
confuse that as hate.
No. Well, I'll get to the hate in a second. But Hartenstein fouled out. Let's say Julius Randle's healthy, fouls out. Let's say OG's healthy, fouls out. And you're in the same scenario. It's just things happen. So for me, Tibbs, it's the players are practicing for the playoffs for the biggest moments. Well, the coaches are too. What are you gonna do in a big moment? You gonna do that again? You think it was okay to let Jalen Brunson let it all out and just keep going, no timeout, no nothing? Nah, man. I personally feel like there's a way around that. I personally feel like Steve Kerr does not coach Steph Curry the same way Mark Jackson did, and he wouldn't have done the same thing Mark Jackson did against them Spurs. And if Thibodeau, out of anything else, because he's improved everything, people got to stop. I don't criticize him anymore about anything about the thing except the things that are, I guess, modern or up to date. My hate on Thibodeau is up to date.
Right. It's current.
Like,
it's current.
Yeah, like there's no more. He plays them for too many minutes. All right, they're playing 40 plus minutes each. It is what it is. That's going to be our team. He's in a 7-man, 8-man rotation. Cool. It'll be different, distributed differently when these guys come back. We get that. But now, when you are in a position where you're coming back from 21 points, I think you have to take a different approach, especially when he seems to do it at the wrong time. Like, take McBride. This is all not just last night. Leading up to this game is too many minutes for McBride. McBride's legs were shot.
They were.
Like, I was totally disappointed that he didn't get that last shot, and it has to do with every other game leading to this. He's a young dog, I get it, but we can't just say, well, Randall's not here, he has to do that. No, Tibbs. No. At some point, it has to settle in, not just Brunson, but McBride's jumper. He's on down there in history with Allen Houston and Hubert Davis and Nick history as a shooter. Remember, I was going into this saying, I think he's a better shooter than DiVincenzo, not knowing he was this good. And his legs were so shot last night, he couldn't get that game winner. Because it wasn't just Brunson's game winner. It was McBride's game winner that was missed. I feel like that's the coaching. Maybe that's the part I'm trying to ask you about, Flea.
Well, I mean, he's in a tough spot because the rotation is not very, unless we start feeling like we need to, play Shake Milton more. We did go get him for a reason, right? Do we need to start incorporating him more? What do you want to? What do we really want to do? Because
would you have minded Shake Milton for 30 seconds while Brunson's going crazy? You go, hold on, just give me 30 seconds, Jalen.
No, because as a coach, right? And I'm not a coach. I've never been in a position to coach, but from my vantage point, it's like he's hot, he's rolling. So you got to pick your spots at that point. You know what I'm saying? That's where most of your offense is coming from. All of your offense is coming from him last night. Everybody else didn't really shoot it well last night. Nobody really had a real rhythm last night, right? A lot of the guys on San Antonio, like that was San Antonio's game, I thought, for majority of the game. I thought we made it a game. Third quarter, especially at fourth quarter, is when we really made it a game. I thought that they outplayed us for majority of that game. Devin Vassell was very good last night. Keldon Johnson came off the bench for Spurs last night, had 17 points, right? Like, so I thought that they, even Trey Jones was good for them last night. So that they outplayed us more of that game. And then in the fourth quarter, we made it a game. But like you're saying, we're running out of gas. We're tired. And our rotation is so much shorter now that we do rely on so many guys to play so many minutes. So to answer your question, I just feel like Tibbs is in a tough spot, Faye. Like, he's in a tough spot. Does he try to start inserting guys into the rotation that don't play as much? Right? So now I'm going to try to insert a guy while we're still trying to maintain. Like, look at the spot he's in, bro. We're trying to have home court advantage. So stay as top 4 seed. But, ride the tides a little bit and wade the water until OG comes back. Right? We got Mitch back. Right? Like, he's trying to balance this thing. I think he's doing a hell of a job because now we still, like, we've won 44 games and we right in the thick of things. No Diddy, you know what I'm saying? So he's done an amazing job. I just think,
not for number 4, for the 2 seed. That was to remain one game behind the 2 seed.
Back in January, I asked, I asked, I said, are we ever going to be in the position to be a 2 seed? And Fabian said, it's happening. It's happening. So, you know,
And
big shout out to Don. Big shout out to Don for laughing us out that episode. If y'all missed that, go check that out. That was a great conversation. But
I should pull that up, but you in a good rhythm. So I guess the hate that I got from you, I texted you last night, or we're in a group chat, and Don was hating still, is going back to AP's point here.
Big shout out to AP.
They're overachieving. It's not a finished product.
Big shout out to Turbo. Turbo jumped in here too. Big shout out to Turbo.
Yeah, Turbo. What up, Turbo? Brunson's the best point guard right now.
Hands down.
And he said Jalen Brunson is having a bigger impact than Carmelo.
Right. I thought you breached. You had mentioned. You asked me a question about that, and
well, because I think him versus Melo at this point is, to me, is clear cut. Jalen Brunson, the Jalen Brunson era is just different. He's gonna have, and he came in with an advantage. Melo ain't come here. Melo, if we're being real, if we're forgetting this, Melo's agent was Leon Rose. Leon Rose started a relationship with James Dolan because of the Carmelo deal, and really because of LeBron not coming here. So, with that being said, that was the beginning of Leon Rose getting here to New York, but he wasn't in the front office. But now he's in the front office there with Jalen Brunson. That's an advantage for Brunson. He has the family up top. So I'm not mad at him about that, but just if we stick it to strictly basketball now, aside, leaving everything out on the floor, the way that they got his players behind them, they basically brought the Denver Nuggets behind Carmelo, Kenyon Martin, J.R. Smith. They got guys behind Carmelo
over time,
right. But so for me, with Brunson, it's like they got his guys, but it's like I was way more from the rip. Damn, this Brunson thing about to be a big deal. Damn, wow. I didn't know he was this good, and then nobody knew, and he's just beyond the pleasant surprise. Beyond, I just saw the Tommy Beer. Tommy Beer's stats are amazing.
Big shout out to Tommy Beer.
Just the most unconventional way to become a superstar, and it felt like last night. I'm excited. You telling me to calm down? I'm like, how am I gonna calm down when, if you know me, I never wanted Kyrie Irving here with Kevin Durant. Kyrie Irving is the total opposite of Jalen Brunson in terms of approach to the game, mentally or personality wise. Jalen Brunson does not come off like he's above anything. Kyrie for a while there was coming off that way, and it was like
I think he's very different right now. His approach. Let's give him some credit this year. What we see.
I'm not giving you no credit, Kyrie. It's about time, bro. Because Brunson
Jesus Christ.
is at the same age. Brunson's here in New York City, and you could have been doing this with Kevin Durant. He had it all laid out, and he didn't do that. Brunson is here. He's not as talented as Kyrie. We can't say he's as good as Kyrie Irving. We can't. But somehow, I'd rather have him lead the team. And that's what it's about for me. So when you told me to calm down, I'm like, how can I calm down when the guy that I was talking about in terms I'm getting to root for?
I'm talking about in terms of the loss. I thought that we last night we got a little caught up in the perform. Listen, we got caught up in the performance, which was a great performance. But I think that we gotta keep the main thing, and the main thing is continuing to win games, because it's a super tight race right now between us, Cleveland, and Orlando. And that's all I was saying. Was I sitting here in amazement last night? Am I happy to have Jalen Brunson on our basketball team? Absolutely. I love Jalen Brunson. I think the difference between him and Carmelo is expectation. There was no expectation for Jalen Brunson. He was able to come in last year and play completely free. Right, we got him on a discount deal, especially now. He outplayed his deal last year by the midseason. We already saw by midseason. We said, "Wow, we got this guy on a friendly deal now." He outplays the deal. We have he has a relationship with our front office, right? A good, genuine relationship with the front office, right? So now, I think even when he starts to use the cachet that he's beginning to build, because he's right before our eyes becoming a superstar. He's going to be able to say, hey, I think we should do this. Hey, I think we need to do that. Hey, I would love Mikal Bridges to be here. How do we make that happen? Hey, what do we need to do to make a move to get player X over here? I think as he continues to build his resume within the New York Knicks, he's going to be able to have a say-so in what happens with our personnel from year to year, and how we're going to build this thing to contend for a championship. So I think it's completely different than the way it was with Melo. Melo was coming in as a multiple-time All-Star already, who's supposed to come and be the saving grace for the New York Knicks. They come in, they lose in the first round the first year, and we feel like that's a dud. Then the next year we come back, we win 54 games, and the next year we lose again, first round to Miami, but the following year we come back and we win 54 games with a 2 seed, right? And now we're like, okay, now we're maybe in contention. But the Knicks were the oldest basketball team in the league that year, the oldest on average in terms of age. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was just completely different mix in what Melo walked into the door with and to what Jalen Brunson walked into the door with. So that's why you get the reaction from me, bro, when I'm like, I don't think we should even compare the two in terms of, what they did, because Brunson is walking in being able to play freely. He has no you're not the saving grace. Did you see that montage that, shout out to Big Nick Energy? Did you see that montage that they put together? I think you shared it with it. It was a black and white montage of nothing but analysts basically laughing at us on silent Jalen Brunson.
Oh, I didn't know you want to go there so fast. I was going to go there in a second.
Go there, bro, because I think that's, for me, builds the biggest difference between his ascension and his time as a New York Knick as opposed to Carmelo Anthony. If you want to talk about production on the floor, I think that's comparable too. Melo won a scoring title as a Knick. He has the most points in Garden history as a Knicks. One more point than Brunson last night. Like, he was a multiple-time All-Star with the Knicks. Like, he did what he was able to do. Was it, did we expect more? 1,000%. Did he not meet the mark? 1,000%. But for what he was walking into, we expected Melo to be the savior coming into New York. That was not the expectation for Jalen Brunson, and I think that's allowed him to become who he's become now. And we just watching a superstar right before our eyes.
But I also believe that there's no. I'll try to find that in a second with the montage.
There was everybody, even certain. I think I saw players in there saying, "Oh, the Knicks got Brunson. They think they did something." It was like,
for me, this says a lot. Shout out to Andy Roth.
Mm-hmm. Shout out to Andy Roth.
He said he felt like posting this again because he posted it on, I think originally it was 11 hours ago. I thought it was Tommy B that posted it originally, but the new NBA.com MVP ladder still does not have Jalen Brunson as a top 10 candidate, and it remains a complete joke. So you got Sabonis, number 6, Kevin Durant, number 7, Devin Booker, number 8, Anthony Davis, number 9, Kawhi Leonard, number 10. Anthony Davis, Kawhi, and Devin Booker and these guys and Sabonis are all fighting for a play-in, basically. Kawhi Leonard is free-falling. Nobody's talking about him for MVP in 3 months. Dime. They haven't been talking about this guy in months. Jalen Brunson has carried a team for the entire season, missing everybody. His second, third, and fourth best players. That is a joke. That is a complete joke. And if that was Carmelo, Melo would be a top 3 MVP candidate. Bar none, it would not even be an argument. But because this is working against him, that he is a smaller guy. And I get that it took a while. But again, to Tommy B's point, it's just unconventional. Like, what else does a 60-point game And what do people bring up? Oh, but he lost. Are you crazy? If it wasn't for that, there is no the 2 games back from the Spurs. That was already decided in the third quarter because we were down by 21 points. Brunson brought us back. I have he made me eat my words when I said, OG Anunoby makes a bigger difference on this team. I was dead wrong to even waver on that. What Brunson is doing is this is MVP caliber stuff. To not be in a top 10 list at this point, and then Devin Booker and Kevin Durant, those votes are supposed to X each other out at a certain point. That's what it's always been in history. Now these guys are finding reasons to go for a Jalen Brunson. Booker should not be above Jalen Brunson. That's crazy. I don't care what other Sabonis, I'll give him that. Durant, Anthony Davis, these guys are bigger players, so that's always going to be the case. I'll give him that. But Booker cannot be above.
But you got to stop giving him that, because at some point there's got to be somebody that stands on their dean and says, "Yo, this is what I'm seeing." Right? There's a list, right? The list. I didn't grow up with knowing what the actual list looked like. I was, maybe thought about guys that had actual vote, but there's an actual list of the voters for MVP. We actually know who is responsible for Joker being back-to-back, for MB winning last year, for Giannis winning back-to-back. Like, we know who's responsible for it, right? And I think as that list starts to evolve and change, you will start to see guys that should be getting a lot more love, right? Some people jump out there, right? You will find somebody, I promise you. You will find somebody this year that will vote Jalen Brunson, that will give Jalen Brunson a first place vote for MVP. He may have one. It may just be one, but he may have one. It will always be somebody. But what I'm saying is, as time goes on, as we start getting younger generation into the position to be voting on these things, you will start to see the older guard and how things were done in the past change a little bit. And a guy like Jalen Brunson, who, okay, we don't have the number 1 seed, we're not the best team in the NBA, but he is playing. What guard is playing better basketball than him right now?
Nobody.
What guard in the NBA is playing better basketball?
Unless we consider Luka a guard, which is kind of point forward.
SGA's been amazing. Luka amazing. But I'm talking about on a consistent basis right now. Every time I've looked at Jalen Brunson, what he is doing is contributing to winning. Okay, we didn't win last night, but guess what? We played against the Spurs, who are not a great team, but their number 1 pick, who is the future of the NBA, had 40 and 20, something that hasn't been done in God knows how long. So, okay, if we take the L last night, okay, I could take that. But everything that he's done this year has been, towards winning basketball. So Jalen Brunson absolutely should be higher on that MVP ladder.
Yeah, I don't. At this point, top 10. He's easily top 10. Being a 2 seed, I guess Giannis is top 5 in there too. Giannis and Luka and Tatum, probably they had him in the top 4. Look like that's top 5.
I think if you do a list right now, currently it'll probably be Joker, SGA, Giannis, Tatum, and then whoever else you want to do after that. I would put Brunson up there. And after that, I don't think anybody else should be in contention for MVP.
And then another thing Tommy Beer said was great was SGA has Chet. Sabonis has Fox. You got like Tatum has Brown, Porzingis, a bunch of this guy, Drew Holiday, Sabonis. All these guys have another player next to them. Anthony Davis is not leading the team, and that's another thing. I haven't seen nobody on that list is a leader. None of them. Anthony Davis, Sabonis, Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, and even if they are, there's nowhere near the leadership skills that we've ever seen. Nowhere near what we've seen with Brunson. Just amazing what that young kid has been doing. He's a kid to us still.
Yeah, I think Brunson has displayed fearlessness coming into New York City, right? I think that I'm sure that there's a level of anxiousness when you come in, but having been in those locker rooms before, kind of growing up in that locker room. Your dad is a former Knick, right? He was on that championship team. I mean, the finals team in '99. So, him growing up in that mix, like, that's a plus. That's an advantage for that young man. And, he's taking advantage of it.
The APAP said, crazy to think this is Rick Brunson's son. Are you guys old enough to remember Rick Brunson on the Knicks? He was the third guard.
Oh,
Yeah,
I'm
AP.
absolutely old enough to remember that. That's why I referenced that, AP. Absolutely old enough to remember Rick Brunson as a Knick. Hell yeah.
Yeah, that's showing my age, but I've grades anyway. It's over for me. Um, what did you want to get into? How concerned are we about OG
Yeah, I
Mitchell?
got I
Mi-
got I got a few I have a few comments on that, and I think we can, you know.
Okay, so I seen a couple people say if he's out for OKC, that's a big deal for them. For some reason, this was the anchor. This was like, if he can't come back for that, well, and for me, it's like I really don't care as long as you. I mean, I saw there's I'll put up the picture in a second. There's a picture of him with like a golf ball on his elbow, on his forearm. It looked like,
Mm.
and I don't know what the hell that is. And I was looking for our guy, the quack, the internet quack. I forgot.
He might be a doctor for real. Now, too, got you calling him a quack. Yo, we gotta chill. He might really be a doctor.
Listen, he better give us some good news about OG Anunoby. But then I'll change my mind about it. Oh, as a matter of fact, he did quell our fears. Oh, was his name Suttersworth? Damn, he did quell our fears about Brunson that the night that he
Oh
tweaked
yeah,
his
he
knee,
did it against Cleveland. Yeah,
and he was right because Brunson came right back. So you know what? That dude ain't no damn quack. He broke hit that whole injury down, and Brunson is back, bro.
right.
Oh boy, gotta chill. But with OG, the only thing concerning is that he's not playing, and he seems injury prone. That's the only thing concerning for me. That's a lot of games.
Mm.
How many you played 15, 18 games maybe? You missed way too many games, especially when you playing means that we jump to this. It looks like invincibility. That's just what it is. That's really what we're like. Damn, what if he was healthy? That's a real thing. I compared him to the '08 New York Giants in football. Like when Strahan, he took the first couple weeks off because he was like, "Yo, I'm old, man." He
I
was on a
remember that.
contract negotiation. He said, "Yo, I'm coming back when I feel like it," basically.
I
And I was
remember
like,
that.
"Damn!" I thought he was selfish until I read his book. Jay Glazer helped him write the book, and he broke down football in general. He made me realize how smart you have to be to really dominate in football and
Mm.
break down the amount of plays you have to study and learn from the offensive end. You know what they're doing and how much it is like a war. And when you're the leader on the defense, you do have to understand these things. So OJ Anunoby has to understand these things for us, and he is that guy for us on defense, not just mentally, physically. He does impose everyone like that. And when he's injured, that's imposing on a fan because we wish he was out there. But are you scared? And if you, I mean, just talk about the OG injury. How worried are you?
I have minimal concerns about this OG Anunoby injury. I think we're doing the right thing. I think that we've seen that other guys have been able to step up. I think that we've seen Josh Hart take the brunt of being the best defender on the floor, for a long period of time, right? He's been able to step into that OG Anunoby role. And so for us, if we can buy time and put ourselves in a position to get fresh-legged OG going into a first round series, I like that. If we could have, we're biding time, getting a fresh leg Julius Randle into a first round series and just reinserting those guys back into what we've done all season long. Like, that's the excitement for me. It's not, okay, he can't show up against OKC. I know that we're trying to position ourselves the best, right? Like, we're trying to position ourselves the best. And, that's fine. I think at this point now, I don't think, and you got to correct me if I'm wrong, Fabian. I don't know how many games are left at this point, but if it's below 10 games now at this point, um, I don't want us to, just bottom out and start losing games, but we do have some flexibility and room to sit guys, provide maintenance to guys that are nicked up and banged up. At the end of the day, all 16 teams going into the playoffs are banged up. Y'all just got off an 82 game season. If you just coming off injury or something like that, like maybe Mitchell Robinson is not banged up. But for the most part, if you coming off of a season, you banged up going into the playoffs. It just is what it is. Like, how are you going to play through pain? How are you going to take care of your body after games, before games? What are you doing to make sure that you could be on the floor for that 48 minutes, during that 7-game series? And I think that's what's the most important thing. I don't think that what happened a couple weeks ago, we rushed him back. We rushed him back, in my opinion, too quickly. We were getting antsy. I think we had lost like 3 or 4 games in a row, 5 games in a row. We were like, 5-5 in the last 10 games or something like that. And we was like, oh, we need something. We start getting antsy. And it's like, all right, bring him back. He's ready. He comes back, makes a complete difference, but he nicks it up again. So I think if we just be patient, bro, that puts us in a good position long term. We have to pay him this year too. That's another thing. I'm gonna let you go, but the money is gonna be on the table this summer. How are we gonna move with that? So we got to be cautious on how we move with him.
By the way, Flea can't see the comments, but AP seems to be a mind reader. I wonder if OG's contract gets affected with this injury.
Yeah, see, I can't see the comments.
So it definitely does. There's no way if you're the Knicks, you're not using it against him. Definitely using it against him, because like I said, if he's healthy, 100% healthy, to me and Flea disagree. This is a max contract player, whatever the max is for him. He's getting a max contract. If he played every game, we would see like, oh yeah, this is crazy. We can't even beat this team. By the way, you guys are such like detectives online, because this was a video. I saw the picture before. I didn't know this was a video.
Let me see.
Look, when he gives him a handshake, right? Boom. People did that. They zoomed in on it. I don't really see anything there. Maybe a little bit. Maybe he's just Diesel.
No, looks like you said, looks like a tennis ball at the end of his elbow. Like his elbow
on his forearm. Wait, you see it on the elbow?
You see the elbow? How sharp that elbow is?
Oh.
Come on, bro. You saw that. You was trying not to see it.
But maybe he has a bony elbow. Like, where's his left elbow at? He's hiding that.
That's his shooting hand. Which elbow is it? His shooting hand? It's a shooting arm, I think.
Yeah. Where's your left elbow at? I don't know. But he's definitely I'm concerned about it, of course. There was something else I wanted to say. Take a pay cut. Yeah, take a pay cut. He's gonna have to take a pay cut to stay with that bum injury. I forgot.
300 million is a lot of money to commit to somebody who is elbow gay. I love it. I love it. $300 million is a lot to commit to a guy who is 9 games left, is has a history of injuries, right? I won't say he's injury prone, but he does have a history of having some knickknacks. And so you give a guy that type of money, and then you get in a position where you feel like, the injuries are outweighing the production. How do you move that? Now you get in a position where, well, damn, okay, we want to move on from him. How do we move him in that contract? So if we do the right thing and negotiate well, I think he should negotiate with some good faith himself, right? Understand that this roster is still being built. Understand where he's at. He's in New York City. You know, like be realistic with yourself, brother, and understand what's going on with the organization. And you're a champion already, right? You've won a championship already. I'm guessing it's about securing him in his life for the rest of his life, which that's for all those guys. So, you know, I don't. If he wants to be a part of this culture that we've built, you know, from the ground up, then I would think that he would take a deal that will put us in a position to make other things happen. But if he's trying to cash out, I think that there may be some reservation, from the front office on, giving him a hefty deal like that. So we'll see.
I think he came here looking for a bigger deal than he would have gotten on the Raptors.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they weren't willing to give him more because he got here injured. He was injured over there. It had to be.
Yes.
The Knicks, he switched agents. We're well aware of that. I think he went from
which sucks because how do you pass a physical for a trade to go through to get here, and then I wish I knew how that stuff worked, because you have to pass a physical.
My father is the general manager for my client's team. That's how you pass the physical.
I'm talking about OG.
Well, OG. I'm sorry, his clients. I mean, his agent. His
right. Okay.
Former boss is now the boss of the team that runs OG's new team. Yeah.
I mean, okay, you want him, you want him, but it would have been nice. It would have been nice as Knicks fans to know that, hey, potentially OG could miss some time because of an elbow injury. Not have the guy go play like a damn warrior for the first 17 games. We go 15-2 with him, and now he has to sit for 18 games. You know what I mean? Like it's like, come on, man.
Yeah, because that last game he didn't look good. So it was wearing on him. So if he gets to 9 more games, he can't just miss 9 games. Is Leon Rose's son is OG's agent? I don't know if that's Leon Rose's son though. I know Leon Rose's son is
he's an agent.
Yeah, no, he's at CAA. I don't know if it was OG's agent. I thought it was somebody else's agent, but he might be. Sam, I know it's Sam Rose. I don't know if he's OG's. I know he was somebody's agent over there. I think he's definitely Sam Rose is Brunson's agent. That's a fact. But I don't know if he's OG's agent. But they're all CAA. That is the point. But 9 games left. You kind of like you only rushing OG if you can get a game or 2 in there and still get home court advantage over Orlando, or you can earn a spot in the seeding. Other than that, I mean, if it's the Magic you play in the first round, you just want OG healthy, rest them 9 games, come in there and go crazy and shut down the young pup over there, the young little gorilla actually. What's his name? Banquero.
He a dog. I want all our dogs against Orlando. I want us to punch Orlando and just remind them you're a young team. Because I'm sorry, they're a really, really good team. They play well together. They like playing next to each other. They defend. They're a young team that likes to play defense. You don't find that very often, where young teams like to get after it on the defensive end. There's a bunch of young guys over there that look like they're running through a wall for Jamal Mosley. So they're going to come into this first round playoff series with house money, nothing to lose, and will play hard every single game. So, if we don't want to get clipped by accident just because these guys don't know that they don't belong there yet, we gotta come ready to play. Whether that's Orlando, whether that's Indiana, if we get Philly in the first round, however it goes, we have to remember, like, yo, Foot's on neck, especially for these young teams.
Mitchell Robinson. Last two games, well, first two games back, 8 points. First game back, 8 points, 2 rebounds. Nothing crazy in 12 minutes of play. But last game, 19 minutes of play, 7 points, 12 rebounds, just destroying. He really destroyed the Spurs in that amount of time. He damn near he looked like he was gonna fracture his foot in half while he was out there. But just again, almost making me eat my words because Hartenstein can't do what he did on the offensive boards. That was scary. That was it was a preview to what we said this could be the Wemby era. This is why when we say you guys don't understand what Shaq was, I gotta pull the clip up and make a montage of it when Richard Jefferson said, you gotta understand when Shaq was in the league, every team had 2 or 3 guys just to foul him. Like, think about it. Shaq was
People were getting jobs for that. You had a job because of that.
To foul him. So the whole movement that the league wanted to do with just what you see now, a bunch of skilled players, basic perimeter players, that was paused because of Shaq. So now we might be reverting back to that because of Wemby. And now you saw Mitchell Robinson, the way he guarded Wemby, the way he played against Wemby. We might see more Mitchell Robinson type of players because of the fact that Wemby's in the league. And we already got the guy who might be the example of what every team will look for to guard a Wemby and draft someone to guard someone like a Wemby. Boy, oh boy, are we in a great place.
Oh yeah, I can't wait for the next few years of NBA basketball. I cannot wait, especially with the culture that the Knicks are building. You know, the plethora of young players that look like they love playing basketball. When I watch SGA, he looked like he loved playing. When I watch Ant-Man, he looked like he loved playing. When I watch Wembanyama, he looks like he loves playing. I'm not purposely leaving out any of these young guys, but those 3 guys jump out at me. They, like, when you watch them, they play with a level of passion, right? They're not finished products yet. All of them are continuing to just get better and better. But as they just continue to ascend, yo, man, you be a hater if you did not want to watch NBA basketball going forward with how these kids are just, loving the game.
With Mitchell Robinson, what did you feel about in the last 2 games? Last game against Wemby,
I thought Mitch looks fresh. I like the fact that he's fresh, he's spry, he's active. He don't look like he missed a beat on defense. He's still cleaning up the glass as he was before he got hurt. What I did notice though, and what we got spoiled with a little bit is that when you watch Hartenstein be so much more of an offensive threat, is that it's like, damn, I love Mitch, but I love the fact that I can get into a pick and roll action with Mitch, with Hartenstein, and I can actually pocket pass him. He can get it and make a move to the basket, left hand finish, right hand finish, dunk something, right? Mitch can do that, but Mitch can't catch it, face, put it on the floor, 2 dribbles, make a move, right? Everything Mitch gets is spoon-fed. You don't have to spoon-feed Hartenstein as much as you do Mitch. And so it gives it a different look. But, man, Mitch I'm extremely happy to have Mitch back. His energy is something that we need. His rim protection is something that we're going to need going forward. He looks in shape, right? I was going to be concerned about that. How long is it going to take him? What about his timing? This Mitch looks like his instincts, his timing is right there, and he looks like he's in shape. He gets up and down the floor. He's not winded. He doesn't look like he's looking to Tibbs to, I need a blow. Did he, like, you know what I'm saying? He looks good, and I'm happy to have him back.
And of course, his quote from last night when he scared me to death. Almost broke. It looked like he broke his foot in half. Gets up and he looked at Thibodeau and he was just like, "Man, nah, leave me in the game." I thought he was saying to take me out, but then when I saw him in the game, I'm like, "Oh, he must have cursed Tibbs out."
Right.
And after the game, he goes. They asked him about it. He came up limping. He goes, "Man, kind of landed a little funny, but I'm straight. I ain't no."
I love Mitch's attitude.
Yeah, he has a
I
great.
love Mitch, man.
And you broke down Mitch's story coming into the league, right? Like he was a project, and
He was a project. It was unorthodox how he came about. He didn't obviously, Louisiana kid, so he didn't take the books very serious, right? And so, but he's an athlete. And so, you got people see, the potential in him, and so now they start trying to pour into the kid to help him, get to his goal. But I think went to Western Kentucky, didn't play at all, but just started working out and got on the NBA radar and was able to get drafted second round. I think he had got promised by the Lakers that draft that he was going to go 16 or 17. If we go back to that draft, take a look at the Lakers pick. The Lakers either had the 16th pick or the 17th pick, and they told Mitch that they were going to take him. Well, in fact, they didn't take him, and he fell second round, and the Knicks was able to grab him. And the rest has been history, man. I think it was a great pick.
They're gonna argue about Mr. Robinson's origin. LB So Wavy thinks that he's from Pensacola. It says he's born in Pensacola, but Florida for the first 2 years of his high school career. He transferred to Laundry Walker College Preparatory High School in New Orleans as a sophomore. So he spent half of his high school career in New Orleans. I guess the first 15, 16 years of his life in Florida. And he did go to Western Kentucky. That's funny though. Once you go to Kentucky, in my mind, that's the World Wide West Leon Rose connection. That Kentucky thing, Calipari in the
he
state.
went to Western Kentucky. He didn't
I get that.
He didn't go to UK. He didn't go to University of Kentucky.
I get that, but you can't tell me Calipari ain't got connections in Western Kentucky. And the way that this thing works, listen, man, Calipari, Leon Rose, and Jersey boys, they ain't playing around. World Wide West, they ain't playing around. I respect everything that they do. Mitchell Robinson, how he came back again, healthy. I don't care what the hell people are talking about. I ain't gassed up. We watch ball. Mitchell Robinson coming off the bench or starting is insane. This is insanity. Like, you got to understand. That's what I wanted to say. Mitchell Robinson coming off the bench, and then we go, oh, we're playing the Cavaliers. Nah, you know what? Check this out, Isaiah. You take a seat. We starting Robinson. Do what you did last year.
And Hartenstein has no issue. Here's the piece. I want to leave with this on this note with Mitch Fabe. Injury that really helped Hartenstein, right? Hartenstein don't get the opportunity to play the minutes that he played this season if Mitch doesn't go down. His development doesn't happen if Mitch doesn't go down, right? And so now we see things in Hartenstein that we wouldn't have had the opportunity to see at all, right? We see the things that he can add into the offense, right? Like, we didn't know that he was capable of it. I'm sure guys on the team did. But in terms of us watching these Knicks, we didn't know that he was capable of doing some of the things that he does. We had no clue because he just wasn't out there long enough. But now, we got a two-headed monster at the big position, man. I don't know what other big tandem in the league rocks with us. There's that Gobert, Nas Reed. I like that. I always say, I asked in comments, let me know what y'all think. I think I asked my brother Fabian the other day, who's the best backup big in the league? Who is it? Nas Reed is on that list, I'm sure, but you'd have to put Hartenstein Or now, if we consider Hartenstein a starter, you'd have to put Mitchell Robinson. Like, well, come on now.
Listen, even if you do got somebody, that ain't this and this ain't that. Bitch, I'm back. That's like 2 weeks in a row with these Jeezy references. What's going on, man?
That's a fact. That's a fact.
One more topic when we get to these comments. Y'all popping in here today. Let's get to this. Oh, and also to finish that up, Mitchell Robinson is questionable against OKC tomorrow. OG Anunoby is out. I did see a rumor that he would be back the 31st, which is tomorrow, but I guess that's a lie because he's out. And who else is out is Julius Randle, who was also rumored to come back. Apparently, he's doing something full contact by April 5th. Julius Randle, do we miss him? And that's a silly question because how much do we miss Julius Randle is the real question.
I think last night showed how much we miss Julius Randle, even with Jalen Brunson going for 60. Because Jalen Brunson goes for 60, and we have our two-time All-NBA, two-time or now three-time All-Star in Julius Randle out there, potentially 25 and 10 and 5 out there. The game is different. That's all I'm saying. We don't have to be on Jalen Brunson's back the entire game, every possession down, right? When guys are not hitting shots, that provides another option. It's balance. It just provides balance. That's all. It just provides a necessary balance for this Knicks team. It's necessary at this point. We don't have anything that has made up for what he does for us. We don't have it yet. If we replace him, so be it. But he's a necessary piece for us going forward. And, certain games, it shows up. It's like, damn, okay, that's why we miss Julius Randle. When we have big wins and, Josh Hart goes for a 20 rebound triple-double, it's like, we go to sleep not thinking about Julius Randle. But for me, there's been several times over the last, what's this been now, 2 months? Over the last 2 months where I've said, yeah, we miss him. So, I look forward to getting him back, and I look forward to us to going into the playoffs with a fully healthy roster ready to rock and roll.
I think to your point, we're missing Randle. To take the ball out of Brunson's hand. And there's a game. If you guys want to watch a game with how the best we're gonna ever look, the most optimal we've ever looked, the most impressed I've been with the Knicks was against the Trailblazers. I think it was the first time we played them. It was at the Garden. Randall was still there. I think, and OG was definitely there. And just the way they opened things up, the way we passed the ball, we were playing with them. Mm-hmm. And that was just so fun to see because I never seen us toy with anybody like that before. Since in my whole life, they just passing the ball like that. There were moments with the 90s Knicks that they would do that. Shout out to Dom because Dom Dropper reminded me or us how good of or that Charles Oakley was a
good of a passer Oak was. Yeah.
Right. I thought he was a decent passer, but I gotta look at the highlights. T-Mac, sidebar, Tracy McGrady was like a ridiculously good passer, and I didn't even realize that. I just had to Shane Battier reminded us of that or put me on to that. But Don was telling us today his validation was posting some stuff about Charles Oakley. But that was a lot. There were some moments in the 90s where they would just pass the ball a lot, and when Ewing wouldn't be a black hole, but he didn't have a Julius Randle next to him to operate with him. He didn't have a Jalen Brunson, next to him to operate with him. And that's the thing with Jalen Brunson. If somebody could look those stats up, actually, I think he shoots 50% catch and shoot threes wide open. Like
50%? That's insane.
It's something crazy that he's the most feared knockdown shooter on the team is Jalen Brunson. And with that guy there, that's what Randall was missing when you have RJ Barrett out there. Mm-hmm. Now you replace him with OG and a McBride and Brunson. We haven't seen that lineup yet. Just to let him operate. I know, Randall could be clumsy at times, but at least it's him going one-on-one and maybe learning, get the ball out, get it back, do a little give and go. We're definitely missing that. Just get the ball out of Brunson's hand, having a workhorse there, someone to just do something else on the offense and be a threat. Go
Yeah.
for then with Mitchell Robinson back and even Hartenstein still being there, Achua being there, Josh Hart being there, the offensive rebound presence. Jalen
That
shoots.
that one addition, makes us just even deeper. As we add Julius Randle back in, everybody gets back into their regular rotation, and it just makes us even deeper. Like we have good problems.
Jalen Brunson shoots 45% from catch and shoot 3-pointer, 77 out of 171. And that's not even talking about the wide open shots. Like I was going through the stats with like McBride, just a lot. He takes a lot of jump shots where he's covered. He's not usually open. And like I said, we like he didn't have McBride out there for all the. We saw Grimes change his shooting form and then still say like, okay, you change your shooting form for what at this point? You need more confidence in that shooting form. McBride comes in, amazing shooting form, always had it, but with confidence.
Mm-hmm.
I think he was obviously tired last game, but he's came in there and he was shaking when that first game in, naturally so. But now he's in there, he's in his stride, and he's shooting amazing. To have guys like that surround Julius Randle during these optimal times, especially again, we don't have that guy that could lead with the second unit, and it's either going to be OG or Julius Randle, and Randle is out there with the shooters. Like he didn't have that before. He didn't have a knockdown shooter.
Knicks fans, think about this. We went into the 2021 NBA playoffs as a 4 seed going up against the Atlanta Hawks. Julius Randle was our best player on that team, right? Who was our second best player? You have to pick straws and fight to figure out who the second best player was on that team.
Mitchell Robinson, but he was hurt.
Right. But my point is this, is that we're going into the playoffs this year with Julius Randle having Jalen Brunson, OG Anunoby, Dante DiVincenzo, Josh Hart, Mitchell Robinson, Isaiah Hartenstein, Deuce McBride. Like, we're going into this thing very, very different than we did 3 years ago. So I love this. I love this team, man. I love this team.
And we'll leave it at that. Let's get to these comments. Every player was a good passer back in the day. Is the main fundamental that has left the game. That's a lie. Like
Jesus, what do you?
Patrick Ewing was not. All right. If whoever was a good,
he might have passed out the double. Stop that.
Don't. Okay, but he didn't see. This is what I love.
LeBron. Not about to get in. Yeah, I'm all right. Go ahead. Do your
10 seconds.
Go ahead.
LeBron James is the example of. You really can't get better at passing. You're not going to learn how to be a better passer than LeBron James. What he does is insane. What he's capable of doing is magic. Nobody does it better than LeBron. But what Magic, Kid, Ricky Rubio, a lot of these guys did do better when LeBron was, I'm going to do this pass at any speed, any given time, and really at the right time. And change. So everybody might have been a good passer back in the day, but everybody didn't pass good enough. That was the problem was in time. And Patrick Ewing was definitely known to be a black hole, take that rock, and be worse than Carmelo at times. It was horrendous. You watched them games with Patrick Ewing? I'm not going to bury you this time, Pat. I holding you down for 5 years because they've been issuing on you. I see.
Yeah, because you the one who got your panties in a bunch about me not jumping out the window about Brunson, but you continuously hate on all our historic Knicks players. You have nothing good to say about Patrick Ewing. You have nothing good to say about Carmelo Anthony, but you have the Jalen Brunson pom-poms on and his jersey hanging up right behind you. Like
I always
have some respect.
Actually, I put Patrick Ewing as the number one Knick of all time.
You have no choice.
I do have a choice. Everyone puts Frazier, and I'm like, you're crazy.
That's no.
If Randle is a rhythm player, I don't feel comfortable bringing him back just for the playoffs. If he's healthy, Knicks.
I can't sit him. I can't.
Yeah,
I cannot.
Well, even off the bench, however you put him back into the game, I understand that he is a rhythm player. I agree with you with that. But he's a body. He's a big boy body, and at the very least, get him out there to punk the Magic, punk Boston.
Rebounding and scoring is something that he provides. Now, what capacity he does that in We don't know. But the thing about that is that at one point we relied on his scoring ability. At this point, I don't think we need to rely solely on his scoring ability for us to win games. We've seen that we can put together a collection of W's without him being a volume scorer or without him being out there at all. Right? So we need him. I just said that a few, so I'm not reneging on that. We need him, but what I am saying though is we don't need him to be 30 a night, 25 a night. He got to cash in 25 a night for us to be great. We see who Jalen Brunson is. We see how this offense rolls now, and just come back and fit in.
What up, Just Knicks? Yeah, but we moved the ball without him. People forget Julius was bullying Wemby the first time we played the Spurs this season. I don't even remember that. I thought Mitchell Robinson was
that was
there.
at the Garden.
Oh, right. We weren't really. He had like a sub, maybe 18 points, something like that, and it was like a quiet 18. The Knicks literally could win the East. Julius Randle would be missed when extra scoring is needed in the postseason. Yeah, I don't know if we win the East outright without him though. Like, I mean, I think it's just all on, to me, it's all on OG. Like that, everything else to me is, even with Randall there, it's a grind. That is a grind. With OG, that scares everybody. And then Mitchell Robinson, bro, if OG and Mitchell Robinson are healthy, everyone is going to just show up on the court like, you know what? I think, it's been a great season. And especially the guys like Tatum who need to prove themselves.
Yo,
that he's gonna have to.
We're gonna mess a lot of things up for a lot of people. So I ain't calling us championship yet, but we're gonna mess up some things for people that have clear-cut championship aspiration.
1,000%. I feel that we have the best combo backup and starting center in the league.
I totally agree.
I actually prefer iHeart to start. I know we had something last year with iHeart, but a lot of people didn't see it. Yeah, that's true. Let me start from the beginning because I don't want to. Brunson. Oh yeah, Turbo says Brunson's the best point guard right now. Brunson's having a bigger impact than Carmelo. Brunson era, Little General, salute, Just Knicks. I would say over the past 30 years, in the 90s, it was Michael Jordan, Akeem Olajuwon in the 2000s with Shaq and Kobe and LeBron. Now any team can win.
That's what we were discussing earlier.
Yeah, but even Shaq and Kobe, it was the teams out west. Because Shaq and Kobe, let's not forget, they needed the damn refs in Game 6, whenever it was, and you had Portland was out of their mind. Who else? Utah was kind of simmering down. I couldn't see Utah beating anybody, but they were so tough. The West was different back then, man. The East really was garbage. Like it was the real fake Michael Jordan impersonation in the East. Let's have one great person, one great player, and the rest of anybody could be anybody. What AI had with Philly, it was like that with Vince Carter in Toronto. T-Mac went to Orlando, ended up doing that. So, but anybody out west was kind of tough, man. Clearly, Flea disagrees with me. This is what Bobo was talking about with the referee with Giannis earlier this week. You brush past Wemby, it's a foul. I mean, but I don't know what happened.
No, the way you said we.
He said, because I'm trying to read it, was talking about the referee with the Giannis earlier this week or this week. I thought he was saying like some French.
I got you. That's what you tried to say it with your French accent. That shit was disgusting.
You brush past Wemby, it's a foul. Well, he earned it, and I think it would get nasty if it's too crazy with Wemby. Like, bro, you're 7'4". What do you mean like the offensive foul he caught with Hartenstein? I hated it. The what was it? The tip off interference with Mitchell Robinson was disgusting. So yeah, but it happens with all the superstars, man. It's gonna be Giannis gets the craziest whistle of all time. I don't think I've ever seen a whistle like that in my life. Pause.
This whistle was a little nuts. No diddy.
I think this team is not a finished product. They're overachieving. Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
Tibbs is going to be the coach for years to come. Who is out there that is better? No, I agree, but I'm nitpicking because of last night where it was a winnable game. Number 2 seed on the line. He's reverting to what he knows.
Dagnall at OKC might get coach of the year. Jamal Mosley in Orlando might get some heavy votes. Shit. to be honest with you, Joe Mazzulla might get a lot of Coach of the Year votes. They're about to win 60 games. So I love Tibbs as a Coach of the Year candidate. I think he's coached his behind off this year. But there's some other guy, Chris Finch, Minnesota, has played amazing. You know, he might get some votes. Like, there's some other guys that might get a nod before Tibbs.
I have to say this flat out. Tibbs should get his third Coach of the Year.
This
He
year?
should, yeah, he should win that.
Okay.
Everybody was injured. The same reason why Brunson should get more MVP honors.
All right. I ain't mad at that.
Yeah.
I'm just saying there's been some other things going on in the league besides him. So
Yeah, I
I
mean,
like it.
Yeah,
Even what you call it before they hit a little snide, and he's gonna get some votes. JB Bickerstaff in Cleveland, because at one point they were right, you know, on the heels of Milwaukee for a very long stretch. Like, he might get some vote.
They still are.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I'm just saying there's some other coaches, but in terms of what we've had or what we haven't had, yeah, Tibbs has done his thing.
Good point about JB. The only thing with Tibbs now is leaving Bogey in the game for two GD long. I agree. I'm sick of Bogdanovich. You got 2 minutes or 4 minutes to get somebody a breather and get out of here, bro. Because what's the difference between you and Evan Fournier? And if I'm being real, I like Evan Fournier better than him. I like him better than Bogdanovich. Like, I'm just saying that they're both nothing to, okay, you could let them both go, but what the hell was the point of that trade at this point? That was a favor somewhere that I don't even know what it's about.
Bogey has played better over the last few years than Evan. Shout out to Harmony.
Evan ain't play.
Right. My point.
Okay.
My point.
Peace to the cipher. What's up, C? Jorge Ortiz. We can't keep blaming Tibbs, my brothers. I notice McBride chokes every time another team is doing good. When another team is doing better than him, he chokes under pressure. I'll have to pay attention to that because I don't remember McBride choking. Even though last night he did miss that last shot, would have been great to see him win. But I don't think he or Brunson choked. I think those are little man problems. Two good shooters who are it's gonna be hard for them to generate to get a good jumper, and especially playing 40+ minutes, it's gonna be even harder for them. They're not. I don't think anybody's built to do that. But when they do it, they look like they're superhuman. It's not just him; the rest of the team, as well as Brunson, is doing everything he can, but he ain't got no help. It's tough now, like Flea said earlier. They're in a tough spot. The entire team's in a tough spot.
Tough spot, man. Tough spot.
We needed this loss, and Tibbs we trust. And Tibbs we trust.
Kenny Payne?
Kenny Payne.
That ain't the real Kenny Payne, is it?
Who's the real Kenny Payne?
He was assistant coach for us for a few years, and then I think Kenny Payne right now is the head coach at the University of Louisville men's basketball.
Oh, wow. I hope that is you, the real Kenny Payne. I was saying this team is not finished. Yeah, they are ahead of schedule, overachieving. Brunson should be in the top 5 MVP candidates, but the NBA is a joke. Top 5 with Luka. How do you feel about, in all seriousness, Luka? Real quick, Luka, Tatum, and Brunson.
I said that. I said if I had an MVP ladder right now, I'd probably go Joker, SGA, Luka, Tatum, Brunson.
I'd probably go Joker, Brunson.
Okay.
The thing about Carmelo Anthony, after 2013, the team just started losing a lot. Mm-hmm. Yeah. The Knicks were already good when they got Melo. The idea was trying to match the Miami's big three. Yeah.
We were nowhere near as good as Miami. Let's like stop that, please. Right. We were a decent team. We were nowhere near as good, ever going to be nowhere near as good as Miami with Amari Stoudemire and Raymond Felton. Please. I get so furious when people talk about that team that Amari came over to, and we were supposed to be like world beaters. We were a decent team. That's it.
And I don't know if Carmelo even if he comes in the summertime, I don't know if Carmelo and Amari just mix like that. Because I don't know if they have the same, like, you know how I feel about the way LeBron and D Wade played on the same team. Like it was clunky. Melo and Amari was clunky, and neither one of them passed the ball
I
like,
mean,
like
but
LeBron and D
that's
Wade.
why at one point Woodson didn't even play them together.
That's crazy.
Couldn't do it.
No matter who the role players were,
Yeah,
you would
he
need
couldn't
2
do
or
it.
3 point guards out there.
Yeah, he couldn't do it.
It's real
Or
simple.
not in long stretches, at least.
It's real simple. We just played with our food last night and paid the price for it. Cleveland losing to Charlotte is way worse than us losing to the Spurs on a 3-game losing streak. I don't think we played with our food. Unless you say Tibbs did that. That's how I feel about last night.
I mean, we was down 20 at one point. Like I said, from the gate, the Spurs outplayed us.
Cleveland plays Denver tomorrow, and I have them losing, especially after Denver losing yesterday. Well, okay. And they're at Denver.
Mm-hmm. And Mitchell is just coming back. Well, he came back the other night, but he's just kind of getting back into rhythm.
Yeah, but that's good though. They're at Denver.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I'm liking that. I'm loving that. I agree with Flea. It's probably about Carmelo because she's a big time Carmelo fan.
Oh, big shout out to Harmony.
The NBA has an anti-Nick bias. Do they?
That's another show. That's a nut. We could do a deep dive on that.
Okay. I think they have an anti-James Dolan bias.
Well, that's Knicks.
Outside of Embiid getting disqualified, I've been saying Luka should be MVP, but Brunson should be in the top 5. This is ridiculous.
100%.
Adam Silver is anti-Nick. Outside of Joel Embiid, that's what you were saying. Joker's numbers this year has not jumped off the board to even be in the conversation of NDP, especially number 1. What is NDP? Am I missing something?
No, that was probably a typo.
Oh, I disagree. Joker's numbers are always going to be.
Joker's numbers were great, and then after the All-Star break, they just turned up, and now Denver has just been thumping people for the last month and a half. Like, he should be in contention.
He does the same thing as he has the same approach to the game that Kawhi does, like the whole yeah, I'm here to play, and they're both killers.
But they're both fiery on the court. Yeah, both fiery dudes. I love that.
The New York Knicks need to get healthy, go into the playoffs, win a championship, and he gets the MVP at the end of the finals. That's how he's going to get his redemption. I like that, Jorge. Anthony Davis is the most powerful teammate in the NBA. The NBA referee. That was crazy. Top 5 MVP candidates: Joker, Brunson, Ant-Man, SGA, and the 5th spot is up for grabs.
Cool list. That's not a bad list.
My concern level OG is a 6, but with Julius it's a 10. 9 games left. Did OG say from the jump he's willing to take a pay cut? I don't think so. I just think it's the CAA hookup. Taking the pay cut won't do much in the NBA because of that so-called soft cap. Yeah, there's a lot that goes into this now with you can't have a super team anymore. So it's gonna be a funny dirty era. If OG takes less money to stay in New York, he'll be rewarded with additional all defensive team selections and maybe even a defensive player of the year. That's big. I don't know. Maybe because Tibbs won coach of the year here, I think Monty Williams, as much as I've criticized Monty Williams, could have got that with the Suns too, and Tibbs might have got it because he's in New York, so New York might favor you in that point. But I don't know if the media really is because I think Twitter has social media has a heavy influence now than any other media form in the history of just us as human beings because everything's in such real time. The group thing happens right away. Look how fast it went from why can't Wemby be a defensive player of the year candidate to I would not be shocked if he's the second. Or if he flat out wins, I'd still be shocked, but I know it's because of social media. And it would have never happened 5 years ago, 10 years ago. Now it's in play where we actually push him, boost him as an NBA basketball community to be, why not vote for him? You guys are crazy.
OG got to play 65 games to even be thought about in defensive player of the year.
Oh, man.
He has to play. He has to just play. So if he can play, no doubt about it, he could be in full contention of being the best defender in the league. But you got to play.
I did say Wemby though, right?
No, we was some they the dude was talking about OG.
Yeah, okay, he's talking about OG, but I meant Wemby. Like Wemby
Oh,
can be
okay,
pushed to
got it.
be the number one guy because it never happened. He's leading the league in blocks. Like it was just go Birds. This is the conventional, traditional way to do it. And then surprisingly, Draymond was saying, "Nah, that's not what happens. You're not a number one defensive team. It's that and the third. Some
Other
old
things go into
media.
it. Yeah, other things go into it.
So yeah, but some old media standards that this guy's holding up.
But like I said, let's continue to evolve new media. Leon Rose's son is OG's okay, as well as Brunson. Okay.
Sam Rose is the son of Leon Rose. Yeah,
Yep.
OG's agent is Sam Rose. Boy, yo, LB's hilarious. He OG's agent is Sam Rose. He spells it out for me. Did I misspeak one time? And he's doing the dictionary version of how to pronounce stuff. As someone who followed the Raptors up to 2020, OG is an excellent player, but very delicate in terms of body. He misses a lot of games.
Yeah.
We have 9 games left. There's no guarantee we'll play Orlando. We can still snatch the second seat. Yeah, of course. But we'd rather rest OG and go into the playoffs with a foot. I'd rather just get everybody healthy. Rest them all. We'll catch up in the playoffs, man. Ujiri's apprentice runs the Magic. They are doing what Toronto did. Excellent coach and draft choices. I didn't know that.
Excellent. I did not know that. Well, who is the GM over in or the president
Orlando.
in Orlando?
Yeah, right.
I gotta take a look.
Magic. Orlando Magic. Basketball. Jeff Weltman.
Yeah, Jeff Welfman. Okay. And
He's
then
the
who's the
president.
president? Who's the president of basketball operations? Him?
Yeah, that's him. All president of basketball operations is Jeff Weltman. Let me see the general manager. Anthony Parker.
Oh, AP. Okay.
Was he an apprentice to
Yeah, because he was in Toronto for years.
Oh, get out of here.
I mean, he played in Toronto for years, but I didn't know that he was under Masai. That's news to me. But good shit, good shit, AP. Good for him.
I know that's Candace, brother.
Yeah.
I still don't
He got a good NBA career.
I still don't compare Wemby to Shaq just off him being too lanky. He's not strong enough yet. I'm talking about this. Even Shaq, he had an era, and it was like we can foresee that coming. That was like it wasn't surprising. With Wemby, it's not going to be a surprise for us if he has an error. Like, oh yeah, we saw that coming. He's crazy. SGA about the money, he makes that perfectly clear on Twitter. Well, if that's the case, come to New York. I love what the Knicks are doing, but at the same time, Brunson is wearing a cape this year. He should get serious consideration for MVP. He's the entire offense. That means that the Knicks need to give Robinson some more touches. Their offense is one-dimensional. You have to spoon feed Isaiah still, in my opinion.
I don't agree with that. You got to spoon feed Mitchell
Robinson. Yeah, you don't need like Hartenstein makes things happen, bro.
Yeah, I don't agree with that.
It's clearly not Sabonis or Joker, but he's a poor man's version on offense.
Yeah.
Mitchell Robinson has more offensive rebounds than defensive rebounds. He's just crazy. Just him being out there was like
active. He's just active around that rim, man.
Prior to being represented by Sam Rose at CAA, OG Anunoby used to be under Clutch. Oh, it was Clutch. He left Clutch for CAA.
Yeah.
Okay. I know he came to CAA. He a country boy. He got 19 dogs. I actually prefer iHeart to start. I know we had something last year with iHeart, but a lot of people didn't see it yet. Yeah, he was showing a lot of promise. I feel that we have the best combo. Yeah, the Knicks literally could win the East. Julius Randle will be missed when extra scoring. Let me see where we left it off at. There's no guarantee we'll play the Magic. Check Cleveland's schedule. They have a hard schedule coming up starting tomorrow. I'm gonna check it real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Cavaliers. They play Denver, Utah, Phoenix, Lakers, Clippers, Memphis. And Memphis has been playing tough. Indiana.
They just them young boys play hard. I love Gigi Jackson.
So their worst teams, the worst games is, let's say, Utah, Memphis, and Charlotte. I think Charlotte's is the least competitive game they're going to play. And then that's a 1 o'clock game on probably a Sunday. I would think Charlotte wants to play spoiler.
Okay.
That is a tough schedule, though.
Yeah, that's there's
LB, good call.
yeah, there's no just gimmies.
My bad. Apple spell. Joker. Oh, I think he's talking about when I see the OG. Joker has no business being the top candidate for MVP. His number has not jumped off the board this season. I think I read that already.
Yeah.
You're wrong. Bohan contract will be traded this summer. I thought he's a free agent. As a resident Spurs fan, I just want to happily apologize about Wemby dropping 40, 20, and 7.
Big shot DA.
Yo, shout out DA. I asked you before if you can answer DA. How are you leaving a comment on Twitter? Is it a reply? Or like how are you doing that? Because it's popping up on StreamYard, and I just find it crazy because I look on Twitter and I don't even see where you guys leave these messages at. If Deuce starts struggling in playoffs, play Shake. He got the experience. Hell no. Hell no. If he's struggling,
I would ride with Deuce in this spot. I would let him play through his mistakes in the playoffs. Me personally.
Brunson is top 5. Luka, Brunson, Ant-Man, SGA in the 5th spot is up for grabs for MVP. Don't say Jason Tatum. Jalen Brown has been outplaying him. Yeah, and just the fact that they're gonna. I mean, it's not just Jalen Brown. It's come on, even Derek White's like. There's a lot of good players over there, man. Jalen Brown has been outplaying Jason Tatum, so I don't even know why Jason Tatum even an MVP conversation. I'm not saying Jalen Brown is not. He's not either. Yeah, just the fact that they're splitting responsibility. OG better not take a pay cut. Anyone here thinking he should is insane. Give him all his money. Depends, bro. If he ain't play every game,
but see, it's not about pay cut. It's about putting us in a position to have flexibility, right? Like we're not asking him to take short bread. We're asking him to structure his deal in a way that doesn't hamper us to have the ability to continue to upgrade the roster. What he provides us is excellent. Shoot the 3, play great defense, just connects everything on the team. But at the end of the day, we still always have to be in a position to upgrade the roster. I don't want to give him a deal that, again, puts us in a position where we can't move it. And now we hampered when it's time to move on. So, yeah, I'm not telling him to take a pay cut, but I would tell him to keep in mind where you're at, where you're at in your career, where you're at with the team, all that kind of stuff from a fan's perspective. Like he's gonna want all his money. I get that. I'm just talking about, leave us in a favorable position so that we can try to win. That's the goal.
That's funny you say that because again, Lee can't see the comments until I post them. And DA says that's the organization job to figure that out. It's tough to ask a player to do that.
1000%.
Yeah, because to leave money on the table is crazy.
Yeah, I get it. But
Dante deserved most improved player 3-point record. Most improved player this year?
He'll get some love on that. I don't think I got Jalen Williams as up there as most improved. Maxey might get some love with that. Dante might get some love with that too.
I think Brunson and
Brunson ain't getting no most improved player.
Maybe no, not number 1, but just like they might steal votes. He might still shine from OG. I mean from DiVincenzo. Somebody else just came to mind. Just like SGA. Well, SGA got it like last year. He jumped up.
Yeah.
So maybe not SGA.
Yeah. Just the guys like that. I think Jalen Williams might be my front runner.
That's a good pick.
Yeah.
I think it's the last one. I'm not typing. I'm voice texting Apple spell check. Just spell things that way. LB, what planet you live on, bro? Like, what's? I'm just voice texting you guys. I need to start doing that. What up, bros? GM's Land Empire 2. I feel like I'm on Game of Thrones when I read your name. Yes, I believe Mitchell Robinson, Bohan will be traded for superstar this summer. Y'all keep saying trade Bohan. Like, don't you have to re-sign him to trade him?
Randall, Mitch, Bohan. There's gonna have to be something else in that deal. They're gonna ask for a pick or two. And what superstar is that?
I mean, I'm trading that for Giannis.
Okay, I'm fine with that.
Yeah, he's a workhorse, and yeah, that'll be super dope and crazy.
That's not happening though. I'm fine with it though.
This guy's so pessimistic.
Yeah, take us home.
We're about to no longer be live. Just for the day, Flea has resurfaced and regained his Knicks fandom. I thought he was losing it. That Future song is stuck in my head. I can't believe that he every bar he finishes with that whistle.
Yeah,
my mom whistles like that. Hilarious.
I can't front. I've never been on record saying this, but like that Future album is not bad at all.
Hold on, I'm not even a Future guy. Dirty Sprite is crazy.
Oh, that's a different era. I'm talking about most recently. His albums haven't like jumped out. This album I've actually listened to all the songs, like, and
you messing with it?
It's not bad. Definitely not bad.
It's the turn up.
Oh yeah, he always got some stuff. He always got some stuff on there, but he's doing a little more rapping, which I enjoyed.
Come on, man. Knicks Rehab. Fabian PerspecTV.
Yo,
Flea.
Yo, I'm out. Big Flea.
We out of here. AllBall TV. You already know the motto. They scared, but I'm not. I'm gonna replay it because it's AllBall TV. You already know the motto. They scared, but I'm not. Come on, you already know the motto. I'm gonna do it again. I'm gonna do it right so I can just chop it up better. It's AllBall TV. You already know the motto. They scared, but I'm not. Should I do it again? We out of here.